Hello and welcome to what's new in Microsoft 365 and Teams for July 2023. I'm Mark Thompson and we've got updates for Forms, Lists, OneDrive, Outlook, SharePoint, Streams, Teams, and a few from around Microsoft 365. Later in the session, you'll see these icons in the bottom left-hand corner. The tick means that it's available now. That biscuit thing with a bite out of it, it's just a bite-sized update. Telescope tells you something that is further in the distance. That's normally from the 365 roadmap. The little clock that's snoozing tells you something's been delayed, and that hand that we don't see too often means that something has been stopped. But for now, folks, I just want to quickly tell you about the blog. So I have high 20s in the slides for the updates I'm going to tell you about now, but there's over 60 updates if you go and have a look at the blog. Look at the notes section for the video and you can hop over to there. Okay, so let's get started with Forms. So Forms PowerPoint add-in enables the live survey experience. So you got the ability to have the live survey already, but you can now put this into PowerPoint. You can stay. Microsoft use this term a lot now, saying stay in the flow of work. So you can stay in your presentation flow as your audience. You can see on the right-hand side as they use this QR code or this link. They'd really rather use the QR code, wouldn't they? And then on the fly, you can see the answers that are coming in, but staying right inside your presentation rather than having to go out. That looks really nice. That, folks, is should be here with us by early August. Moving on to lists, and our first one is Microsoft List User Experience Updates. So I've got a handful of things here for you. First one is how much faster lists will open in Teams and in your browser, so about twice as fast apparently. This next one is the ability to see who you are collaborating with. Let's just zoom in. Look, you can see that someone's working on this. You click on there and you can see who that person is. In fact, look at the top right hand corner. I can see who's collaborating in the same list at the same time. Look on there, folks. Actually, look at the top. That's fairly new from last month, isn't it? So the filters that I've got applied, so I can see which filters I've got applied right there, and you can click on those X's if you wanted to clear those filters. What else do we have? This looks epic. So this is the ability to create a form over your list. So think about the list that you've got. Think about a list that you've got, and people can click new item, and it's fine, right? But it's a little bit clunky, but it's fine. So look at this. This is the ability to say you want a new form. It's like a skin over your list, and this is what users will see. In fact, this is about to cycle around again. So we're going to say, yes, we want a new form. And you can see the fields here from the list that we've got. And now we're going to spend some time just fine-tuning that. You can see it at a glance how it looks, and see on the right-hand side you can show or hide fields. How easy is that? I think this is going to be amazing. Really looking forward to it. Anyway, so that just means you've got this super slick way of getting people to populate your list. Next up, we've got drag and drop images to a list. You can see that we've got a browser on the left-hand side, dragging it across straight into that images column there. That's how easy is that? That looks great. And folks, these are all due, so some of these are rolling out now, but should be all rolled out by late September. Okay, so a quick one in lists. So we've got new list templates with approvals, pushed back a little bit. In fact, early August, so this should be with you anytime now. Okay, so moving on to OneDrive. Quite an exciting period for OneDrive, actually. This first one, browse files by meeting in OneDrive Online. So you can see here that we're looking at, first of all, meetings that's coming in the next week. It's going a bit quick, that is it. I do apologize. Microsoft are good enough to provide those GIFs in the admin center, and that one's just a little bit quick. Anyway, so you can see there that initially we have our meetings for the next week, and then it goes backwards and shows you meetings from the past. Predictably, it handles recurring meetings quite nice as well. But that is due late August, so later this month into early October. That looks like a great new view. This one, the updated experience for Office document conflict resolution in OneDrive Sync. Okay, so I'm sure we've all seen that message where it tells you that that there's a problem with conflicts, and one of the options was to have the new file, or to keep both basically. I'm doing this signal here for suggesting that we're forking in different directions. So that's changing. So the option to fork will be removed, and what you see on the screen here, the only option you're going to see is the option to merge changes. I've got to be honest, I don't know the rationale behind this. It might just be that Microsoft are, I don't know, maybe they're just trying to cut down on the amount of storage that we have. We have multiple documents. I don't know, but maybe it's just they're encouraging now, strongly encouraging better management of your documents. But whatever it is, it will be here in August for you. So look out for that change. Recommended files in OneDrive online. So recommended files will be displayed in your home view. So you can see here, let me just zoom in a little bit. So actually this this here is from my OneDrive. You can see here that we've got my files on the left hand side, and this top section that you see is for you. So it's interesting when it says recommended files. So in the online apps, the online Office apps, it used to say recommended files, and it would have this type of display. But they've changed the wording, and I think they've done it on the other apps as well. So forgive me if that's wrong, but I think they have, and they've changed it to for you. But they're still using that terminology there, recommended files. Helps you keep track of the work around you and quickly access those files. The triggers include edits, mentions, and comments. So if we zoom in on here, we can see that we've got a mention, we've got someone else who's edited a document, someone recorded a meeting, and someone's assigned a task to me. You can jump, look at that, straight to the video, straight to the task. I think that is awesome. Due by the end of August. Browse files by people in OneDrive. Another fairly nice update. Let me just zoom in on this, have a quick look at this before I tell you about it. You can see here that browse by, so it's this filter here, and you can see that we're browsing our files by people. So someone's shared something with you, or you shared with them. This view presents the people you have recently collaborated with, along with all the files that have been shared with you by each person. That's cool. So I tell you what, when I was reading this, I couldn't quite work out whether it meant the people that I've shared files with, or shared files with me, or also the people I'm collaborating with on files. So they're not the sharer or the sharee, but I'm working with them. So maybe it's worth any of you just having a look at that and just trying that for yourself, because I wasn't super clear on that wording, if I'm honest. You can pin your key collaborators. You can see that you've got our key collaborators at the top, and due, it's quite a big gap for this one, late July to early September, but that looks quite nice. I want you to picture a situation where Sarah has shared a file with you. You can't really remember when, and you can't really you're not sure what it's called, but you just know if you could just find the file, then you'd recognize it. So I think this will be great for that. Color, font, and navigation changes in OneDrive for the web. These are pretty subtle, but let's have a quick look. So in this top one, look at the background along the top. That's white, and in the new version, it isn't. Okay, so a fairly sort of change there. Look at the bar at the bottom. I was thinking about that as a title bar. That has that's changed from blue to grey, and it's just got like a slightly more modern look about it. You can see that the new button, look at the top I'm highlighting initially. Let me zoom in. It's moved from here to the left-hand side, and you'll notice that the upload button is missing on the new version. And that is because when you click Add New, one of the options in there is to upload. So folks, also the ability to expand and collapse the next navigation. Now, I don't see it on this screenshot, and I just checked on my own before I did the recording, and I didn't see it. But in the notes it says that you can, so maybe that's coming a little bit later. So we'll see. Look out for that, folks. It's not on these screenshots, and I didn't see it earlier, so I don't know whether they've dropped it or it's just coming down the line. That should be fully rolled out to everybody by late August. Okay, so that's the end of OneDrive. Moving on to Outlook. So reminders window in the new Outlook for Windows preview. So it might be a little while before this starts filtering through to what you've got, but let's have a look at this. So you can just see it on the screen there. It just has all your reminders in one place, and then you can snooze them if you want to, and you can manage them all in one place. You can, as well as snoozing, you can join your Teams meetings directly from here. So it's just maybe just at a glance you can see you can see the time ahead of you, and I guess that's quite useful, that view. Due mid-August, but look at the word preview at the top, so it might be a little bit further down the line actually rolling out to us. Some quick ones now. Find related search for Outlook Online. This is due early August to September. So we've got Outlook Online. So I already have this, and it looks quite useful. So I can find related messages from this sender, or find related messages in this conversation. So just make it a little bit easier for you to find the thread of a conversation. 1,000 plus search results in Outlook on the web. So I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, due January next year. But you can see that's a one to watch, right? So I've said often that these one to watches, take all the details with a pinch of salt, okay? It's you'll get what you get, and we'll get it when we get it. Go further out even more. July next year, multi-account search in Outlook on the web. So you just, let's say you've got multiple accounts in there. I'm not sure how this is going to look in reality in the workplace, but it just means that it will search in multiple accounts at once. No Outlook for Windows and web. Preserve declined meetings. I think this looks quite good. How many times have you deleted a meeting or you declined a meeting and thought, oh, actually, I wish I'd kept it? So this just means that you're going to be able to keep it in your calendar, so it doesn't block out any time, but it's almost like a shadow on if you look at your calendar, imagine like a shadow just showing you where that meeting was, and I guess you could re-engage with it if you want to. So I personally am really looking forward to that one at the end of this year. Okay, let's see what they've got for us in SharePoint. So the new SharePoint site creation experience. So this is one for a fairly small percentage. There's a lot of people obviously that end up creating sites, but a small percentage of people in the workplace, I think, certainly where I'm working at the moment. A couple of things that have changed, a few things that have changed is the name of these templates. Now, I'm not going to read them out to you, but if you want details, hop over to the blog and you'll see more about that. What else do we have? Site template gallery is going to include, look at this. So they've got the preview, we've got some capabilities, what's included. So just making a bit more information for you. And folks, that should be with us by early September. New SharePoint platform, minor visual refresh. Now, I know I didn't introduce that very well. I apologize. Anyway, so updates to the Microsoft Fluent Visual Styling of the SharePoint platform. Updates include changes to quick links, image web parts, the web part toolbar, and updates to the command bar. I gotta be honest, folks, right? So I'm not going to go through them all, and I deliberately didn't put them all in. If you're interested in this fairly small amount of detail, hop over to the blog, and I've got all the changes listed out. But this pretty much covers it. So we got square corners, and we got some rounded corners, and that sums up the majority of this change. I might be doing someone a disservice. Might be some bits that I've not included, and if you're a proper SharePoint person and I'm offending you right now, I apologize. But for most of us, that is going to sum that up. But go and have a look if you are interested in that. And it should be with us. It should be with us anytime now, actually, by early August. Twitter feed part retirement. Those of you who watch on a regular basis, you'll know that I rarely express an opinion about anything. For me, my glass is at least half full, normally about 3/4 full. I can normally find something that I like in anything, but the changes that are going on to Twitter, or X as it's called now, are just bewildering to me. You notice that on my website, I had to change the equivalent of a web part that used to show you my latest tweets because of the changes that they made. Anyway, so it looks like Microsoft have given up on trying to just trying to get the Twitter web part to work. I found it quite useful. There are reasons that there were occasions, like sometimes we get mega organizations that are so big that it's sometimes good to, let's say, I don't know, let's say you've got a news channel in a team. And one of the things that's nice to show in their area is just lots of feeds that are coming in and what their organization are saying to the world. Of course, I can find it elsewhere, but it was nice, and it was nice to be able to do that. But anyway, the Twitter web part is being retired, and that will be done and dusted by mid-September. Who knows? In the some man's logic, it might be that maybe he's stripping down Twitter to make it less and less useful to the world, rename it X, and then bring in loads of new features to show that X is so much better than Twitter was. Anyway, I'm just getting into the weeds a bit, but whatever. The Twitter web part is being retired. Let's move on to stream, folks. Stream, video, preview, and playback in Microsoft Teams chat and channels. Look at this. This looks quite nice. So maybe you are sharing a video with your colleagues. Now, instead of them having to pop out into a new window, right inside here, look at this. They can play it inside the Teams chat or inside the Teams channel. So you don't have to open up that in a new window. So that's staying in the flow of your work, or just I often talk about Teams, and I've called it this for years. It's like it's where you go to work, or the window to your working day, and it's becoming more and more like that all the time, due by the end of August. Okay, automatic transcription for video uploads to SharePoint Online. So by late August, if you upload anything, any videos, then they will automatically get that transcript. Add video to existing playlist. So when you got a video you want to add to a playlist, it will give you the option to add to an existing playlist. You'll see something similar in a minute of that as well. Oh, these are ones to watch, by the way. So very low on detail, and the date, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Insert and playback videos inside Word and PowerPoint. So that looks interesting. Just off the top of my head, just wondering how you use that in Word. It might be, I don't know, for whatever reason, you're given instructions in Word and a piece of video would work well, and you're embedding this new stream video in there. Due August, I bet I'll be telling you about that properly next month with a proper new date. The new add to playlist functionality. Okay, so I've kind of reading the first one there, the first one to watch, and the third one. I did this just to compare the difference, and I'll go into it more detail later when there's more information about it. But imagine you are watching a video, and right from inside the video, you can just click add to playlist, and you can push it to one of your playlists. I don't know, maybe you are responsible for I should have thought about this example before I started saying it. Maybe onboarding new people into your team, and you see a video and you think, oh, that is perfect. Just a couple of clicks, and then you can add it to your onboarding playlist. View and edit mode toggle, that should be available now. It's just so it's super easy for you to go in and out of edit mode. I often upload a lot of videos, and it just feels a bit clunky going, seeing how it looks as a viewer, and then going in to edit it and change some of the details. But that little toggle, little slider, I think that's going to be great. See, that should be available anytime now. Okay, folks, let's see what we've got in Microsoft Teams. This looks awesome. the new Microsoft Teams app called Meet, a centralized hub for all your meeting activity and content. Let's have a look on here. So here's our new app, and we can see our meetings that are coming up next, what's coming tomorrow, your recent meetings. The recent goes back 30 days. Now, there's additional AI-powered meeting insights for Teams premium users. If we just have a quick look on there, you can just about see. Let me go back one. You can see here that these recent meetings, we've got the notes, anything that's been shared, documents been shared. It will tell you who attended, and all sorts. So I think as a hub for all of your meetings that you're having and you've had, this looks great. Here comes the bad news. You might have saw it a second ago. Due later in the year, but only for the new version of Teams. Now, I don't know where your organization is with the new version of Teams, but I know a couple that I work with aren't in any hurry to have that rolled out to users because there's a lot of things to check, right? But anyway, that looks awesome when you get it. On-demand recording feature for Microsoft Teams webinars. So for those of you who create webinars, this is the ability to create a recording that your attendees who came to that they can watch after the session. So you get to pre-approve the recording before it's published for the attendees. You can see here we're having a look at it and we are publishing it if we're happy. So you can publish the actual recording of it, or you can upload a new video if you want to. So that might be interesting if, I don't know, someone says or does something in there, or you just need a super polished version of it without the questions and the answers and the interruptions or something like, I don't know, whatever. But you got the option to upload your own video, and you can customize that preview, and you can get it all nice before you let people see it. That, folks, should be with you by the end of September. Okay, so time-wise, quite a big update this month, isn't it? Microsoft Teams App Store suggestions grouped by task performed by apps. That's catchy, isn't it? So let's have a look on here. So I can just see, it might be, folks, that I know what I want to achieve, but I don't know what all these apps do, and I don't want to have to read the details of every one and go into them. So look at this organization here. So manage tasks, take notes and create lists. So I know that all of those apps inside those sections does that sort of thing, because people don't think, oh, I need a Project Central, or I need Verto Kanban, or that ice Scrum. They're just like, you know what, I just need some help managing my tasks, or I just need some help with taking notes and creating lists, because I don't really care. A lot of them don't care what the apps are. Some people do come to you and they say, I want XYZ app and I'm going to use it like this. Can you show me how? But a lot of people just tell you the problem that they've got. And this is great because we're going to start, and if you scroll down, you'd see more. So people can have a look at the heading that covers their problem, and then they can look at the details in there. What else we got here? Oh, not a lot more to tell you, but it should be here anytime now. In fact, you might already have it, folks, if you go and have a look. What have we got? So some quick updates now. So remember this icon here, it's just a bite-sized one. Allow organizers to send a channel meeting invite to everyone in a team. Right, now that I look at this, I'm kind of thinking I should have done a full slide for it, because this looks interesting. So it's easy, folks, if you create channel meetings, for those new ones, for those to get overlooked by folk. And if you've got a super engaged team using that channel, then it might be that they see it, but it's easy to overlook. Some people will, even though it's a channel meeting, will still add every single person by name they want to go there. But for all the people that are engaged with channel or following a channel, then you can invite everybody, everyone who follows that channel. So that's not worded great, if I'm honest. But so this is about inviting everyone in the channel who follows that channel to the meeting. So due by mid-August, that should be with us anytime now. 1,000 channels per team due by the end of August. I'd really be interested to hear who needs 1,000 channels. Maybe, I don't know, maybe an org-wide channel, a team. I don't really know. 1,000 channels sounds like a lot, doesn't it? When maybe next month I'm going to follow up on that actually and tell you a little bit more. Enable second video stream for Teams content camera on desktop feature. So this should be rolled out by mid-October, and it just means that you can have a second video, and it might be that you have one on your face, maybe one on your hands while you're showing something, I don't know, or maybe one on the group. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't. For me personally, I can't think of a use case. Um, I don't know if you were shown how to do something, showing shortcuts. If I was showing you shortcuts, would I want one on a keyboard? Well, anyway, whatever. You work out that for yourself. Second stream for your Teams. Collaborative meeting notes for Microsoft Teams. Push back a little bit. Should be here by early August. If you're interested in any of these, by the way, folks, make sure you check out the blog for full details. The new Microsoft Teams channel experience. Push back a little bit for some people. I certainly, trying to think. I work with two really big clients, and as of last week, I had a few days off, which is why this is a bit late. Actually, I've been away for a very long weekend with my daughter. Um, I just trying to think before I went off, neither of them had it. So, but it should be fully rolled out by mid-August, and hopefully you'll have that, and hopefully you'll like it. If that doesn't make sense to you, by the way, folks, same as before, go and check out the blog, and you can read all about it. While talking about Teams, some of you know that I, along with Kirsty Brown, have another channel called Mark and Kirsty Banging On About Microsoft, and a couple of recent updates. A video there about avatars in Teams meetings. So on that one, we look at every single gesture. We just practice every single one and show you everything that an avatar can do. I'm quite a big fan of avatars. I think they're borderline an inclusivity or a usability feature, although that's not a popular opinion. Also, we get Kirsty to replay the session that she did at Comsverse. So she went through these way moments in Teams, just some really, really nice features that you might like. So make sure you check out the video section or in YouTube, just have a click about and you'll find that other channel because they're definitely worth a look. Anyway, back to my own stuff. Around Microsoft 365, what we got? Key document updates as a highlight in the profile card. When you look at the profile card of a colleague that you collaborate with, you'll see a new highlighted type, and these will be key document updates. I gotta be honest, folks, this is not a great screenshot. Go and have a look at the blog for more details. You can see there on the right hand side, there's a few details, and you can see, let me just zoom in actually, related to your work again. So it's just highlighting this stuff to me, and I can go to that stuff. Includes edits, comments, mentions, replies, and shares, and should be with us by the end of August. So that's not a great update. I've not presented that very well, folks. Go and have a read if you are interested. Microsoft Whiteboard user interface updates. So let's zoom in a little bit. So we've got creation tools down here. Let's see, we've got our template, image, documents, video. Look at the top here, the interface, how much nicer it is and how much clearer. So they're surfacing more prominently. So reactions, comments, text, shapes, etc. Toolbar is pushed to the bottom of the screen. I think that's a better fit for the way that we work. Rolling out now, and should actually roll out for all of us on all versions of Whiteboard. Okay, so, oh my goodness. Kirsten and I've got recorded another video about Planner, just an overview about Planner, just not a full-on tutorial, just an overview of Planner, a nice beginner's guide to Planner, which I'll be sharing over the next week or so. And while we're in there, I pointed out that at some point we're going to get rich text and images, and she tested it and it worked. And let me just click this. I've been talking about this since late 2001, so it's been a while. So look at this. Just got the ability in the notes to do some rich text. You can see that I've just done some examples there for you. I couldn't work out how to add an image. I'm guessing that is coming further down the line. But for those of you who use Planner a lot, and I use it every single day, I'm really, really, I'm just so pleased to see it in because it just means you can just do such a nicer job of your notes and your comments when you're setting up a plan. Uh, and rolling out now, folks. Go and check that out. Go and test it. Oh, the other thing is, we could only get it to work with the keyboard shortcuts. So Control and B, Control and U for underline, Control and I, etc. So go and have a go at that. So really pleased to see that update, and I'm guessing that the actual controls will appear soon as well. Okay, so we seem to have finished on that highlight. Remember, folks, that maybe you prefer getting your updates somewhere else, so you can check out Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, or whatever Twitter's called now. I just can't help but call it Twitter. Actually, I better update that slide, right? I'm still going to call it Twitter for now, or Twitter X. I don't even know what. I guess like everything else, I'll get used to it. But anyway, so LinkedIn, look out for the podcast. Make sure you go and read the blog. And if you want to sign up for the newsletter, and then every time I do one of these videos, I will tell you when it's ready instead of you having to look out for it. But for now, folks, we're done. Hopefully that was helpful. I'll catch you next month.